Jenny Poff, founder of the Designers Roundtable, an international accountability group for independent creative business owners. I'm also a designer, owning my own business for nearly 9 years now. I'm excited that this is our first DR Vibe podcast, and with me today is the DR Vibe co-producer, Crystal Renolds. Thanks for being a part of the DR Vibe, Crystal.
Well, Jenny, thanks for having me. I've been in the design industry for over 18 years, and with that, I found a love of publication design. And I've been part of the DR since its inception, and I really know its value. And I'm really excited to be a facilitator this year.
Hi, today's podcast, we're going to talk about goal setting. Sounds simple, but it can be very challenging as independent creative business owners. When we get ready to start a new designer roundtable term, I ask our members to complete a goal outlining worksheet where they can capture their main goal and break it down into smaller tasks so that it's manageable to accomplish within a set period of time and not affect our precious billable time.
This is where I'd like to kind of interject. And if you're anything like me, the word goals just never really seem to quite fit. I personally desire flexibility in all things in my life, so hence I'm a solo business owner. The wind changes and feels right. I want to be able to flow with it. So I focus on. I've been working to focus on more of a vision and intentional feelings and outcomes that I want to strive for when I'm bringing my dreams to life. Understanding that goals, visions, they're guides. Ultimately, you get to decide your direction, and the guides help you choose the right paths. For me, psychologically, if I keep things open, then I don't feel personally stuck. It can seem really obvious that if I complete all these steps, then I'll end up at the desired end, which sort of feels like I lost the magic of getting there. So I have an odd desire to stop before I even start.
And it's so funny, everybody's a little bit different, right? So whether you're the type A personality or you like things more flexible, one thing remains the same. You have to at least have a map of some sort. And it's best to have it written down. Why? Because when you write it out, the better you can speak about it to a partner or a colleague or an accountability partner group, the higher success rate you have of actually achieving it.
And by writing it down, it's actually making it tangible and bringing your vision to life instead of just running around in your head like a hamster. It's actually, coming out of you.
It's real, and we're visual people, right? We need it in front of us. It'll reveal things we haven't seen before. Now, I found this article on Inc.com, and it's called "Why Should You Have an Accountability Partner" by Jason Zook. And we'll link that. We'll post the link to that article on our Facebook page so you can read the whole thing. But here are a couple of the great statements that I pulled from the article. Humans have the amazing ability to talk ourselves into or out of nearly anything. So what does that mean for us? That means when we're not telling anybody what our goals are or holding ourselves accountable to the action steps in our business, we can say, I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then we can talk ourselves out of it. No, I don't need to do that tomorrow. I can do it another time. Any of these things, we can just keep putting them off and nobody will know. So we have to embrace, here's another statement from the article. Embrace those feelings of discomfort and put yourself out there, right? And what does that mean? I've said it many times, get comfortable being uncomfortable. A majority of us work from home and work in this world of solitude in our creative businesses. Crystal and I, we're both working out of our bedrooms, of our homes, so putting our business out there, those deep details, is really uncomfortable thing to experience. Those things that we don't like to talk about. But it's also a reality check. It's a surefire way to break through resistances that hold us back from achieving the business goals that we have for ourselves.
For me personally, the one thing I noticed over being a part of the DR the last couple of years is one of the things on my list was always bookkeeping. And after a while of a couple of years of not getting through it, just hearing myself, I got tired of having it on my list. So I said, screw it. I'm going to just deal with it. I had been dealing with it for, 10 years before that. And finally, it's just being able to actually talk it out actually helped me to okay, let's step up and actually get it done.
That's right. That's so true. And the first term in your DR is going to be really personally challenging. You're going to be letting other people into that sphere. You know, people don't like to talk about bookkeeping, right? It's a really hard thing to talk about. But you have to. I mean, look what Crystal just said. She knew this was a crutch. This was an issue that she had with her business. And the more she talked about it, the more she realized it was time to get some help. So don't be afraid. You know, this in the Designers Roundtable, it's a safe environment. You know, it's a place where shame and embarrassment or even being afraid of competition don't exist. Because no matter the reason, letting someone in is a necessary challenge that will help you in the long run. We've had members who exude a new level of confidence that directly affects their bottom line. Members have said that businesses have increased, their business has increased anywhere from 15 to 80%. 80%! Because of the confidence they developed by being a part of the Designer Roundtable community.
I think that cues into, I mean, it's a little intimidating to put yourself out there, but the other side is it's exciting. I mean, you're giving yourself permission to define your own future.
That's right. I mean, it comes to setting goals. You have to push your own limits, and that's tough. No one can tell you what your limits are. No one can tell you what will push you, but it's the excitement that you'll feel of knowing that I can finally take control of my business, right?
Yeah.
You have to push that safe zone. Pushing that safe zone allows us to grow and expand as entrepreneurs. Remember, we're designers and creatives first, and business entrepreneurs second. So the business stuff is going to be hard. And that's all the more reason why a community like the Designers Roundtable is so important. I found another great article on entrepreneur.com by Stephanie Voza, and we'll post this on the Facebook page too. And it's called Why an Accountability Buddy is a Secret Weapon to Faster Growth. Here are some of my favorite clippings. While being nimble is a small business owner's advantage, important decisions, such as launching a new service or product, are best made by vetting ideas and thinking things through. An accountability partner can help you identify weaknesses in your business, make plans to overcome them, and hold you accountable for action. An accountability partner is a person who coaches another person in terms of helping the other person keep a commitment.
If you want to wrap your head around it, the idea is it's just actually creating that verbal dialogue where you're actually finally hearing what you're saying. The other person is there and they do advise you and give you feedback, but sometimes the act of actually listening to yourself cues you in on what's working, what isn't working, and really what you should be doing.
It's true. If you're journaling it, or if you're listening to webinars, or taking in all of this stuff, you have to be able to process it somehow. Mark O'Brien said at a Hell conference a few years ago, "You don't know what you don't know." You have to get out of your thoughts and your dreams, and you're going to be amazed at how this process, how processing this collected information will inspire you and motivate you. It's a serious reality check. So the points from these articles are pure testaments of why a community like the Designers Roundtable is so crucial to independent creative business owners. We're locked away in our clients' projects, and chances of networking with local competition limits being able to vet out our challenges. And I don't know about our viewers or about you, Crystal, but I know my family and friends, they just have a really hard time understanding how my business works, how my creativity works. And so that really narrows the opportunity for me to talk about my business in ways that help me flourish and help me make the kind of money that I need and deserve.
I mean, the other key on finding other professionals, not only are they sounding boards, but they actually kind of become cheerleaders, and because they can relate and they can contribute feedback from their own experience. I mean, that's invaluable. I mean, for you to say, "I've got this problem," and they say, "I had that," and you're like, you learn from it. You can't do that alone.
There's somebody else that had this too.
Exactly.
I thought it was just me. Right? How many times we've heard that all the time in our group? Like, oh yeah, we've had that problem. Here's what we did. Maybe it might work for you.
Yeah.
Right. So my mission, along with the advisory board for the Designers Roundtable, is to hold this space for creatives to feel safe in, to allow them to dig into their wants and needs for the business and figure out ways to solve their problems, celebrate successes. I mean, who's going to celebrate us other than ourselves, right? And so much more. So this January is the perfect time to take some R&R and think about where you really want your business to be by the end of the year. Do you want more clients? Who are they? Do you want to charge more? How are you going to do it?
Another thing I think I'd like to talk about is taking actually inventory. Where are you right now? Very important part of deciding where you want to go is to know where you are. So actually write out that nitty gritty. What's your income? Who are your current clients? What's your office situation? Are you like at the coffee shop? Or are you in a little, basement black hole kind of thing? And what are the type of projects you're currently working on? If you actually write that stuff down, then you actually have something to work from, and you've had half the battle done. You can choose what to keep, what to let go of, and then what to add based on where you currently are.
That's so great. And our DR members actually have access to worksheets that Crystal created that act as guides to help this inventory process get started. So there's one more article I'd like to share with you from Inc.com by Peter Van Vandenbos on business goals. More than 80% of the 300 small business owners surveyed in this fourth annual Staples National Small Business Survey said that they don't keep track of their business goals. 80% of small business owners do not keep track of their business goals. So this may shock you, maybe not, but 77% of that have yet to achieve their vision for their company. Well, no wonder you haven't achieved the vision for your company, because you're not keeping track of your goals. Right? This just emphasizes how important, as an independent creative business owner, because that's who we focus on here in the DR5, we all need some help from time to time. So for 2016, so far for the 2016, we have to get moving by setting some SMART goals.
Yeah.
But don't overwhelm yourself. Be ready to push your own boundaries. This is a big one, Crystal. Determine how much time per week or per day that you can commit to working on your business, and not let this time get trumped by clients or other billable hours.
One of the key things I found helpful is actually looking at my calendar and just blocking off, even if it's just 30 minutes that week. It's giving yourself the permission and headspace to say, disconnect from everything else and just, okay, this is what about me, and actually writing stuff down. That's pretty key.
You have to treat yourself like a client. This is where an accountability partner or group really helps you stay motivated and dedicated to your goals. We have some members that meet weekly just to say, okay, what did you do this week? Did you get what you said you're going to get done? And it's okay if you get off track. This is a journey for you. A solo, an independent creative business owner, a freelancer. We make our own rules established by our wants and needs. And by defining those wants and needs, then we're able to see, and especially because we're visual people, that working towards a visual goal is the most accurate way of attaining growth and or strengthening your business.
One thing I've experienced, though, is sometimes what holds me back from trying to make those goals is like, well, what if I don't want to do this stuff? But in my experience, when we actually hit those roadblocks and the tasks and we just can't get through them for some reason, it's just a lesson to learn that maybe that's not where I should be going. And then you make adjustments. So if that task isn't what you should be doing, you make a decision to do something else. But you're still moving forward.
And for those viewers that keep hitting resistances or these roadblocks, there's a great book to help you get through this, and it's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Once you can recognize the flags for these roadblocks, then it's easier to plow through them. And then the next time you hit one, it's even easier because you've already done it before.
Yeah.
So let's not forget the staggering number that Freelancers Union put out, that 34% of the entire workforce are freelancers. That's 53 million Americans. Sorry, Crystal, because you're in Canada.
But hey, whoa,
53 million Americans.
That's actually the population of Canada and Australia combined.
That's insane. I mean, 34% of the U.S. workforce are freelancers, which is Canada and Australia, right? That's crazy. We're dominating. I mean, we are a huge integral part of what makes our country work.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, that means it's more than okay as a business owner, as a freelancer, to challenge the status quo. So I ask you this. Is your business everything you want it to be?
I want to ask the question, do you even know what you want your business to be? And to be honest, I still don't have a clue. I have an idea, but I like to focus on is making sure the work I'm doing now is actually what I want to be doing tomorrow.
And sometimes we're treading water for so long that we lose track of where we're going in the first place. We need to take time and dream about what we want. We may not find answers of how to get there, but we can do that on the journey. And this is all the more reason to take time, especially January, beginning of the year, to reflect on what do you need to do to get to where you want to go. Now, as a DR member, you'll be able to get our goals and vision worksheet to help you get started. Sometimes just a blank sheet of paper isn't enough. So we've given you some different divisions of things to kind of collect to build that inventory like we've talked about earlier. And if you wanted to be a part of the DR community, I ask you just to visit designers-roundtable.com/Facebook-membership. And we'll put that link below. But this will give you the quick start guide to joining the DR community. Next month, I'm really excited about this because this is so relevant to everything we talked about today, is we're going to have creative business coach Rochelle Roberts from Las Vegas join us and talk about how to take our brain dumps and our business desires and turn them into tangible and achievable steps.
So with January, the DR term kicking off this month, I'm really excited about being a facilitator and being the sounding board for our DM members to basically wrap our heads around getting goals defined.
That's right. Our DR groups are our group accountability that meet monthly started off this month, and we're really excited. We have new members, and our community is growing and thriving. So we're really excited about the new term. So thanks for joining us on the DR Vibe and talking about goals. We wish you a very happy new year.